Hello and greetings on yet another Devs and Hodlers meeting. My name is Mikołaj, with me Mr. Orłoś, Marketing and Business Development Manager, and of course Bartek Mongar, our Devs Manager and the king behind the technical team of the bigshortbets platform. Hello and greetings.
Everyone. Hi, everyone.
And as always,
Good to be here.
Yes, as always, every week, 6 p.m. Central Europe time. And as always, we're gonna ask you to leave a thumbs up for our algorithm and other stuff. We're gonna go and jump to our news for the day. As you see on the subject of today's stream is going about the bigshortbets token. It's amazing. I'm excited. I'm very curious what the team came up with this week. But first of all, we're gonna hop on to over here and right on the bigshortbets.com. We're gonna find all the needed information. We're gonna be developing the website soon. It's gonna be refreshed, and as always, you can go and claim your bigshortbets tokens because the time is running up for the claims. So this is a heads up because you're gonna have another couple of weeks. If no, you're gonna miss your opportunity. And obviously you can read about the white paper of the project here and just jump on the other platforms where the bigshortbets is, and we are in many places. You can chat with us on Telegram in Polish language, in English. There are two separate chats, and also you can jump to Twitter page to go and read some news. And we're gonna jump over to some news from today, from this week. But first of all, bigshortbets we got on Twitter. This is also the bigshortbets news, obviously. And also the bigshortbets family supporting us over here. And if you go to the Twitter, you're gonna find another meme. What they doing over there? US CPI 8.5% inflation, lower than expected. But the markets are green for a moment, at least. So yeah, keep your heads up and look for the future, because this week is green.
Yeah, there is actually might be another reason for that the market is green, especially crypto, because BlackRock, they announced that they are creating a trust, a Bitcoin trust, to offer Bitcoin for any like commercial entities in the US. So I think this might be another good information that pumped the markets. I mean, other than that, recently on the Polish market, I think some Polish projects called Fonadice, they had they said they got exploited and the tokens were dumped on the market.
Sure. Yeah.
But they actually many posts. So if you search Fonadice on our platform, you will find many posts regarding this topic. I don't want to really say what about are those posts, but let's say we are trying to warn you. But still, yeah. But it's really bad to hear that this exploit happens, because investors' money is lost, and they really can't do anything about it. So that's actually pretty bad. But we are actually getting really cool. I mean, yesterday, if some of you follow the price of the bigshortbets, we had a really strong dump. Someone dumped like $80K or 80K tokens, the BIGSB tokens. So there was some slight correction. Maybe he tried to scare some people. But this actually took another way around, and when I woke up today, the price was the same before the dump. So there is actually. So we can see that people are looking for the offers, looking for occasions when the price drops slightly, they're buying out, and they're happy to catch it with the lower price. This means that we are in an uptrend, so people are deciding that even a slight 2% or 5% discount is a solid discount on BIGSB tokens, and this is really good to see, because this show actual altitude and sentiment on the BIGSB market, and how people are towards this token.
Yeah, it's not the drop, it's the discount for you guys.
Exactly,
And yeah,
exactly.
if we hop
Only
on,
up.
yeah, exactly. And if we hop to the platform, this is something you just said, Mr. Orwash, that the first news regarding the Fanadice, if you go to the platform, you're gonna find out it in April, one of the first baits.
Yes, it was one day after they listed the token because we already know what's up. We had our information sources that research about this project, what they're doing. But I don't want to leave you like I don't want to talk about the content. Actually, for everyone, if anyone is interested in this kind of content and want to read about this project, about exploit and many more, just hop on the platform, type Fanadice, and you will find some plenty of information, first hand and second hand information about the project, fundraisers, and so on. So
Not
if you are
only about
interested,
Fanadice, if you're interested about any heads up on the market or any heads up about anything really going on here, you can just hop on the platform, log in, log in with your wallet, and obviously you're gonna find a lot of information that are perhaps not available in the traditional media. And sometimes the traditional media of course post some things about the things we discuss on the platform, but they are sometimes later than the guys that are baiting on the platform, that are the insiders. And this is the one of the insight that olive oil price is going to be probably rise 35% as the heat wave hits the production. This is the bait from this week 2 days ago. So just keep an eye on the prices, depending on what might be happening. Another one about the Holland flights, and a lot of really cool, interesting stuff. We don't gonna cover all of it, but just go over to the platform and you're gonna find a lot of news. The news that are
exactly.
might be not available anywhere else than on the Big
Exactly.
Short Bet.
And if you see right now his Mikołaj screen, and you can see that this is the new layout working progress. It looks neat. If you scroll up for a second, we could see that you have new pieces of the layout, new profiles. The stuff that we were talking about in last weeks or so, we had some I don't know if this was 71 or 2 or something like that, but we showed you the new works that it is, the new UI, and now you have it implemented, and now it looks what we presented to you. So I think it looks very good because it shows it not only shows the rank, but it also shows the something that we could say the numbers from the platform, because we can see that it shows the BIGSB amount, it shows the number of the baits on the platform, and so on. So this is, I think, really interesting. So the profile panels works great, and gives you also other we could say other numbers that could verify the trust to the user. So you can see that there's the number of BIGSB, number of baits, and number of comments. So this is the three most important factors on the platforms that should dictate. And in our case, this is the values that are taken into consideration when actually measuring each one's trust, so each one's rank. But the stuff we showed you already, it is, I don't know, you have to search through but it's 30ish, I think, or it's like 30, 42 or 40ish, something like that. You will find we brought our mathematician to show you how the ranking system works, what are the ranks and how it's really described. Other than that, you can see it is really detailed in our white paper, how it works and what we use to calculate it.
Yeah, you can go over to bigshortbets.com for the white paper, and remember, guys, to claim your BIGSB because the time is running up. And
Exactly.
When I'm using our app platform and try to log into, every time I'm just amazed how great is the login page. I very like
right,
that. So.
the new login page is amazing. Okay, so the subject of today's live stream is BIGSB and mBIGSB token utilities on the BigShortbets platform and beyond. We're gonna go over to Bartek for his part. So yeah, over to you.
Hey guys, so like you maybe remember, we just announced some time ago the BIGSB and mBIGSB, and we'll just make sure that we are on the same page with that. I can just say that we are start working on that, and we have very strong, let's say like that, cooperation with some of the other blockchain projects that we cannot announce right now, but I can give you a heads up. They have very interesting technology, and they are making something like, let's say, how to call it that, and do not spoil it too much. They try to be like a hub for all the blockchains. So we just decided that we would like to be part of that and try to our place as well there. And the mBIGSB will be the first step of integration with this solution. So I hope it will be very big and good announce for you. But let's just back why it's so important for us to have a BIGSB and the BIGSB tokens in the same time, and how we would like to use them, right? So, like I said, you can see my screen right now, I think.
Show it. Yep.
Yeah.
So it is important to mention here that the part of the BIGSB is mentioned in white paper, but the mBIGSB is a token, is a utility token that we decided to introduce, and this is something new, and in barely have been any information about those tokens. So if you are here, there's a first-hand information. Probably we're gonna update when we have all the details of launching this token of this, for example, for our partner when he or she will become our partner. But right now we can any disclose anything because we have to prepare everything, the documentation and so on. But we can disclose you our plans, how it's gonna look like, what we actually want to achieve, and what is the main purpose of it.
Exactly. So yeah, so let's start with that. The BIGSB is something that you are very well known, right? And let's just show that and tell that is Ethereum network, right? A token that we have in a smart contract that we are using for right now, mainly for just, let's say, be present in the blockchain, be present in the cryptocurrency market. But this token is so important for us that we just decided that it's too important and too valuable to just risk with the tokens in everyday transactions and something like that. And probably the price can be different, right? So we just realized that maybe BIGSB token is something that will means that you are the hodler, you are the owner, you are the one of the, let's say, creators of the project, but the mBIGSB is your currency in this project, right? And maybe it's counterintuitive that what does mean, but let's say like because BIGSB tokens, will allows you and they will give you privilege to mint mBIGSB, and we already used to just say that in the previous statements that you will mint the mBIGSB every day, and the equation will be something like that. Let me just sorry. I don't have okay. So equation will be mBIGSB tokens is your amount of BIGSB divided by the amount of the days in the year. Yeah. So yeah. So it will be something like that, and then and it means that you will claim the tokens every day, right? And we just realized that first our idea was to put the mBIGSB on a Ethereum blockchain, but we just realized that it will be too expensive for you in the transactions to wait to mint it, right? How you should mint it is something that it's worth, I don't know, dollar or maybe $2 or less or more, we will see, and you will pay equivalent, almost the same amount for your claiming transaction fee, right? So we just try to find the best solution for this, and we went through. We are not talking about that, but we just analyze and go deeply in the risk management with many blockchains like Polkadot, Solana, all that you can imagine. I don't want to just say how many we just go through, but this is why it takes so long. And we just realize that we cannot be depend on one of those blockchains. We need to depend on the technology that we would like to use. And we just realized that there is one solution that we very liked, and it's something that can change the future of the block on the cryptocurrencies, and we just decided that we should be part of it, right? So mBIGSB, I cannot say that right now because it will be officially announced in the upcoming months, but let's just say that there is an option that there is a hub for all the tokens, the blockchain that is hub for everything, and we would like to be in this hub. And this hub is working like all others blockchain with the smart contracts, and it will be on a cheaper it will be on a blockchain that on a different blockchain, right? So it won't be on Ethereum net. But the good news is that the solution that we are using already just announced that, the technology that we announced already has the bridge to the Ethereum blockchain and to the Bitcoin. So we are quite surprised that we will be exposing you, so you will be able to use this token in many different cross chains because they are going to integrate many other blockchains. So we just decided that it would be better to be cross platform token. It's better is to create a token on cross platform solution. So in this way we have infrastructure to be cross chains token without making any bridges and something like that, right? So it will be very secured, very good, and you can imagine that the mBIGSB will be the thing that we are using, right? So you can see that you are like a central bank, right? You are printing the money, the value, and you can just sell it, or you just use that for the fees, right? And we just realized that maybe it's better because the utility. So let's just go through the problems that we have, right? So let's just start with something that we are talking all the time. So with the market, right? So if you will have market, right? And you oh man, sorry. Yeah. So if you have a market, right? And the market has the fees, it will be if this fee will be in BIGSB, it will be quite hard to predict what the price is, right? So it will be counterintuitive that the price is going up and down, right? So for example, let's just assume that our fee here is something like let's say it will be something like 0.25%, right, of your transaction or your position. So it means that you need to pay, let's say, for 1,000 you need to pay 25, right? But 25 what? If it's dollars, then we need to just once again make sure that it cannot be constant value, right? Because if you always taking from you 0.25, for example, BIGSB, one day it will be, let's say, few dollars, and maybe in the future, in a few months, it will be $110,000. So it will kill our market, right? Because the can be just happening that the fee will be too high. So we just decided that maybe we should print the money that will be replacing the fees. And what's happened? So we just decided that it won't happen like that. We just decided that the market will working in this way, that you will pay fees in mBIGSB. The value that will be constant. So let's say something like 10, mBIGSB will just make through the DAO voting this value. And something like that, right? And it will be happening like that. But of course, you will give you, thanks to that, the options that you can pay fee. what's happened? Oh, not this button, sorry. Yeah, no fee. Yeah, so the other way is that you can pay fee in a listed, for example, in USDC. So, for example, for BTC USDC, what does it mean? It means that if you have the USDC, for example, market, you can just pay as well in the stable coins without having the mBIGSB. But what it doesn't mean, it means that this fee will be bigger than the fee in mBIGSB. So if you have a big mBIGSB, so you can see how many levels we are creating for hodling the token. So first of all, you maybe remember for the white paper that maybe BIGSB tokens, this token doesn't take part in a market, but it's affecting your fee. So right, so if you have BIGSB, right, it's happening that you have the lower fee, right? So you will have the lower fee, right? So lower fee. Let's say something like that. Okay. So first of all, we would like to introduce that if you are hodling the BIGSB, you are saying that the fee for market is lower, right? So it means that we are not using those tokens. They have utility. They're giving you the leverage for the users, right? Because you have the lower fees, right? But you don't risk your position. You don't risk your hodling amount of the tokens. You are just taking the profits without touching them, right? So I think it's good, right? Then move to further. You're saying you can mint them, right? You can mint and you have more than BIGSB, so you can use them. And we can say that this fee will be lower and you are paying in mBIGSB, so it will be still cheaper than paying in USDC, right? Somebody who doesn't have the tokens, the BIGSB, and doesn't have mBIGSB, still will be able to use our platform, because maybe you remember tokens or not, but people with the tokens will be, let's say, super users, right? Something like users with something like, you know, more beneficial way to using our platform, right? With better fees, with better quality of this services and something like that, right? So you can say that we are open for new users without tokens. They are using our platform. They are giving us a fee. But if you have a BIGSB, you have lower fee, and if you are paying with your minted tokens that you have for free, right? It's not for free, but you're minting them based on your holding position, right? You don't need to pay anything for for your markets, right? So it's win-win position, right? You have something that allows you to pay your fees in the market, right? Of course, everything what we collected here, it will be redistributed between the hodlers that you are using the market and the nodes. And this is something that we are coming here. I would like to say that the BIGSB will be allows to create nodes. And it will mean that you will be able to create a node. And node will take, I don't say right now because we are still testing that, how many, and we are just checking that with our new solution with the blockchain that we are just implementing. What we have the options here, but you can just imagine that everything what we collected here, right? Everything what is coming, you will be participating with the redistribution of the value that we collected in the fees, right? Some of this will be burned, some of this will be disappeared, but some of this will back to you as the reward of the hodling, right? And only it can happen when you have more, and it's more than 10K tokens, right? So I think that it's fair enough, right? You need to have the very important, the significant number of the tokens. We can change the number of these tokens as well. Maybe it will be, you know, when 1K allows you to have a one node. Maybe if you have more than that, maybe thousands or millions tokens, there will be still, you know, the next floor that you have more nodes. If you have more nodes and the blockchain is more distributed, then you have more options to participate in the redistribution of the fees. This is things that we are just working right now, right? But you can imagine that mBIGSB doesn't give you the option to make a node. So what's happened in this situation? You can imagine that there will be a group of the people that is holding tokens to be part of the system, right? The part of the blockchain, and they are selling their tokens mBIGSB to people to use the platform, right? So it's great because you are the market and you are the central bank, right? And you don't need to sell your tokens to get the price from them, because somebody can imagine that, okay, I don't have BIGSB, I would like to use a market, but I don't want to pay the high fee, right? So I will buy from guys who has the nodes, who has the enough mBIGSB from the claiming to pay the lower fee, right? And this is, you can see that everything's, just circles, right? Everything just connected, and everything just say that is, once again, this is the third option to where I'm just saying, don't sell BIGSB, right? We are doing everything to just say that, give you more arguments to just buy more instead of selling the BIGSBs, right? So, okay, this is the market, right? If you have any questions about the market, feel free to ask, because right now I'm going to the part of the social part of the system, right? So we are going with the social part of the system, right? And mBIGSB. So for example, first of all, we would like to say that BIGSB is giving you, let's say, power vote, right? And we don't want to change that. So BIGSB is a power vote. What does it mean? Voting. It means that, if you may remember, your reaction will based on your reputation, but as well on the amount of the tokens, right? So some of the baits will be making sure that you have the let's say bigger impact of the community. You will have the bigger impact on the, let's say, quality assessment in the content that we have in the platform, because you have more tokens, right? Because let's just imagine that I'm a guy who is interested in the finance sectors, right? But I only have, I don't know, $100 on my account, right? I only have 2 BIGSB. So why my vote should be equaled, and to just value the things on our platform with somebody who has millions on their account and they have a lot of tokens, right? It's I would like to show that the community can be bigger and stronger and can clean up from the trolls, but as well better just have the better tools to just flag the good content because of the hodlers, right? Because hodler for me, and the definition, is somebody who would like to see the best outcome of the project, right? Because if better project is, the better outcome of investigation is. So if you have bigger impact on the quality of the content, if you have bigger impact on the platform because of the number of the tokens that you have, it will it's good for you to make sure that you are responsible for value that we have in the platform, right? So we would like to give you the tool that will reflect your power on a platform, right? And as well, like I already mentioned, the same things will stands with the DAO, right? So BIGSB is a vote, right? It's a vote in the DAO voting, right? So BIGSB is a vote in DAO, and you can imagine that as well. Sorry. As well as something of, let's say, power reaction. It will be less confusing. Reaction. Yeah, power reaction. So you can imagine that. So you can see, right? You have the power to just set the course, right? The direction for the project because of this hodling the tokens, right? So you can imagine that somebody who would like to destroy us or maybe just make something mess in our platform, they still need to invest a little bit money. Yeah, they need to buy to the tokens to destroy today, do some mess with your, pointless. So you can see that somebody who would like to make some damage to your investment, they need to be as well the investors, right?
Yeah.
And I think that is very good.
If you wanna be a legit troll, you better be a rich troll.
Yeah, exactly. So you need to be rich troll to troll, right? Of course, mBIGSB does. Yeah.
So there is a huge room for the speculation, because you can only do something if you are on the inside, if you buy the tokens. And as we know, the BIGSB token architecture is that every time you buy, every time you transfer, some percent of this transaction of the BIGSB is being burned, and some of it is distributed. I mean, last day when we and the community checked, there was like around already burned tokens is like 112,000, something like that. This means double that was redistributed, so it was like 224k BIGSB tokens. That means it's almost $500,000, almost for almost $400,000 has already been distributed in the fees, in the reward for the the tokens. So it is really sustainable because none of these tokens redistributed has been really dumped the market. It's not some single time farming, but again, when speaking of that, so the people needs to be in, they need to, for example, if they want to dump the price they feel, they need to buy the tokens. It's not they're gonna have it in the air, or maybe later on when there is a possibility to buy, or right now the possibility to buy the tokens for the $2, and then you can dump it, because there's like kind of this $2 sale is like OTC deals. So you get the stable price, $2 for the whole purchase. You don't need slippage or anything, and you can dump it. But by the time people will be able to dump those tokens, the liquidity will also be lifted by the tokens will be collected in the second pre-sale. So the whole pool will be secured. So still, I think there will be a stable growth, but I don't want to really disclose any information here. But still, if they want to mess around, they have to buy the tokens from the market, and they dump them, from which each transaction the community actually profits. This is a perfect combination.
There is an interesting question in the chat. If you got time to answer it, or you want to leave it for later, just let me know.
Yeah, we can answer right now, because right now
Sure.
I think that it just
BIGSB hodler. Should I read it?
For blockchain, oh yes,
Okay,
someone
so
running the node and having TK tokens can mint 27 and 4 mBIGSB every day and sells them to someone who doesn't have the BIGSB.
exactly.
Exactly, you don't need to have a node, right? Keep in mind that there is several ways that we would like to give you options to be part of the project as a, let's say, infrastructure of the project, or just liquidity of the project, right? So one thing is that everybody who has the BIGSB tokens will have access to the smart contract on a cheaper blockchain where you can mint the tokens. But you don't need to have any servers, you don't need to put any nodes for us. This is something that is out of the scope, right? So you can, as well, if you have 1,000 tokens, still you can mint the mBIGSB from this smart contract, right? The node is the other way, right? This is the second, let's say let's say like that, the second leg of the table, and that is giving you the able way how you can just participating in the market, right? So if you are giving us the power, if you are helping us with the blockchain, so you should be able to I'm just explaining that. So if you have a node, right, guys? So for example, we have the fees from the market. We have the fees from transactions on the market. We have fees from because paid base that I will explain in the next steps, right? You have many fees, many different transactions that is going on our platform. We are collecting this mBIGSB. We are giving that to the nodes, and the rest of this is giving to the guys who are participating in the market, right? So the nodes will taking bigger part in the redistribution of these fees, right? So I think that is a very good idea, right? Because still you are expanding we are making us more decentralized, more secured, faster, better network, and you are receiving your reward in the tokens that you are believing, right? So this is how is it, right? So yes, you will get the extra tokens based on the amount of the transaction. You can imagine that it will be percentage, right, of the fees collected. So maybe in the beginning will be few mBIGSB, right? But if you will see transactions in the thousands, you can just make a calculation, right? That the percent is going higher and higher with the numbers of the transactions that will happen on the blockchain. As well, I would like to keep in mind that when the market will start, we will introduce as well the function that is called the BIGSB better access. And it means that there will be option to limit your visibility to guys with the no tokens. So for example, if I have 100 tokens, somebody who has less tokens than me or 0 tokens won't be able to read my baits. So it will force you to be part of our project as a hodler. But if you have 100 tokens, you always can see everything what people who has less than you will be always have access to their base, right? So for example, somebody who has 1 million tokens or maybe will be first number 1 hodler in our project, he or she will be able to see all the baits in the platform without any limitations because he is the biggest hodler in the platform, right? So he has or she has right to have access to everything, right? And I think that is quite. And maybe some of you doesn't agree with that, but I think it's like a carrot, right, or I guess surprise. You would like to be part of the project, not be excluded from the group. So you need to buy the tokens to be part of the group, right? So yeah, I think that is a quite cool idea, and we would like to force them test at least. Maybe it will be changed in the DAO voting, but it's something that we promised many months ago, and still we are waiting for a good moment to just deploy that, right? Okay, so this is let me just quickly look on my notes that if I miss something, I hope there's any more.
If there are any questions, think of it, and just feel free to comment.
There is one question. If you have one node, then you get extra mBIGSB or BIGSB.
Yeah, this is I already just answered the BLM question, right? So yes, if you have a node, you are participating in the fees that we are collecting and the many actions that we have on the platform, right? There is a bot. Can it be automated or the hodlers doing that manually each day? So because the hodlers, you can imagine that the smart contract will have the information that when you just claim the tokens, right? So you don't need to claim them every day. You can claim, let's say, every last day of the week with all the tokens from the day, right? There's nothing happening that if you don't claim on a Friday, you will lose it, right? No, it will be waiting for you there, those tokens. Maybe there will be some, let's say, timer, right? Like 1 year to claim that, but you can just claim it for example, once in a month, right? And sell it. I don't know. It's up to you. But automating that, it's not something that is sufficient because you need to remember that not all our users and the hodlers will be using the blockchain that we will just present it as the solution for the mBIGSB, right? So how you should mint and send them the token that where they are not presented on a blockchain, right? So you can see the problem, right? How I should find somebody who is not present in the network, right? So manual work will be still there. I'm afraid that it's something that it's crypto world. If you are signing something by your private keys, the only person you can be responsible for this action is the owner of the keys, so you, right? So I think that this process will be still manual process, but of course if you have a node and you will be participating in a fees redistribution, it will be automated. But okay,
So
yes,
far,
I
so
think
good.
that's so far so good. So let's just go deeper. So right now we are just realized, okay, but everything is just showing that the BIGSB still is better than mBIGSB. Not exactly, because if we go, let's say, go to the button, if we say that is something like paid baits, right?
It's just a different usability, yeah?
Yeah, so you can pay that in the fee for this will be in mBIGSB. You will pay this as a USDC or on a USDC as well, right? But it will be higher as well. So once again, there will be paid bait, right? You know the idea of the paid bait. The paid bait will be the encrypted bait that you only have access when you just give the author of the owner of this bait the amount of the tokens that you should receive, right? As well, if you remember, I can just share that, right? We would like to make a paid bait as the NFTs. And why? Because some of you are afraid that somebody will copy paste your bait and will resell that, let's say, lower. So let's say I am an owner of some report that I would like to share with you behind the paywall, right? But somebody just paid this report and just posted that as their own and resell that lower. So we would like to have this paid bait documents encrypted and created as NFTs. So it means that when system and smart contract from responsible for pay bait will realize that somebody is reselling your pay bait, there will be something called royalty payment, right? And you can see that, for example, 90% income for me, right? So it's been that if somebody will pay this for 1,000, right, 900 will be back to you as a royalty, because you are decided that only 10% will be for resellers, something like that, right? But you can see that as well, it's back to you as a mBIGSB, right? And here the NFT baits will be, to create that, you need to pay as well an mBIGSB, and as well, so as well, to create paid bait and NFT as a paid bait, you need to as well pay the mBIGSB fee. So we are constantly just burning those tokens in our platform, right? So this is the tokens, this is BIGSB, this is the paid bait, right? What's happened with the groups? We are aware that the groups should be as well have similar options, right? So access to the groups can be sold, right? We are looking for the groups. They are, let's say, a little bit. I can be honest, right? They are a little bit further in our plans right now. We just realized that maybe we should prepare the different types of the groups, the open groups, right, where you don't have paid and they are open, everybody can join. But for example, just realize that maybe some of you who has enough tokens, let's just imagine that, and I ever like this idea. For example, you have, let's say, for instance, right, 10,000 tokens for us is something that's called that you are a real hodler, let's say like that, right? So 10,000 tokens means that you have some privileges in our platform, right? First privilege is that you can make it for 100 people, and every access is the NFT that you can just give them, right? Good idea, right? It's something that they can trade, that they different, give somebody else. So yeah, so it's something that I'm just thinking still, but access the groups as well will something that they will pay it, right? And the last thing that I think, and this is, and there's something like donations and small things to the users as well. We would like to use as an mBIGSB, but you can see that everything what you can imagine that's happened in our platform will be covered by mBIGSB, right? Will be used mBIGSB there, and you will be able to pay for everything there cheaper. And that because we would like to, and you need to remember that accessibility is one of the keys that we would like to as well still keep as the first place of our project. So there will be option to pay that in a USDC, but it will be much higher than mBIGSB. So there will be demand, right? There will be demand for these tokens, because somebody will say, okay, if I buy 10 tokens and I will pay 5 from mBIGSB, it will be still cheaper than pay, for example, $50, 50 USDC for the same action, right? So I have $25 in my pocket.
Yeah, we probably want to make it that way, so it will be cheaper for you to change the USDC for the mBIGSB on the then pay the fee, rather than pay the fee in the USDC. Because if we make it that way, people will be forced actually to buy it. I mean, it's gonna be the better conditions, But the best part of it is that the economy that we are creating the whole economy for the platform, for the social platform, like the whole layer of the magic internet money, you know, like the stuff that you can make with the smart contracts, tokens and stuff. We are actually adding, this is the part of the Web3 projects have. We are adding to the social layer, we are adding this economical layer. And the best part of it, this shit is not centralized. What it means is that we leave you the full aspects of the economy. Because the first thing is that who is the issuer of the mBIGSB? You are. By holding the BIGSB, the share token, you are making yourself a decentralized central bank for the issuance. So you are the issuer, and the whole economy, whole the stuff that's gonna be used for. So I mean, you know, we can give you the tools. We can say, okay, you're gonna pay for the group's entrance. You're gonna pay for the I don't know, tips. You're gonna use it on the market and so on. But the actual movement, the actual reason, and the value that's gonna be created by users. So this whole economy is gonna be between users, because one party gonna have mBIGSB, the other party gonna have value, and they're gonna exchange. So one party is gonna transfer the value in form of the BIGSB to one user, and the one user will transfer the information on the what the other stuff is gonna be, whether it's gonna be, you know, just a gratitude, whether it's gonna be just access to the group, I don't know. So this will be a relation of the two parties, and the best part of it, the team and the project is taken out of it. So what you do with your money, what you do between you, is up to you. We just give you the tools and the infrastructure and the architecture to do that. So I think this is a big step to be independent, somehow economy platform shit. I don't know. It's just blowing my mind, because when I try to, you know, hear everything and just, you know, put everything in perspective, in a good position, we have this view that it's gonna be some social platform which is with its own economy, and now so that operates within economy and so on. And of course, we're gonna have our own stable coin. Cebulion is gonna be in Polish zloty though, but it's gonna be, this is somehow part of the bigshortbets project, because the reason for doing this Cebulion is that we want to create on the platform artificial and synthetical futures assets for the platform, and the only idea is to do this with the Cebulion. So okay. So but never mind. So but yeah, so it's gonna be the full infrastructure. So there's gonna be issuance, there's gonna be a central bank, there's gonna be a stable coin, there's gonna be, you know, a possibility to exchange the value in a form. I don't know. You saw that Bartek wrote something about the NFT in Paybaits. Maybe in the future we will be able to expand it to some other extent. We also have this platform, you know, we are try to build in the future, in the market 2.0. We're gonna have this element of, we already told you that we will be able to build your own oracle and bet with other users, or something other than futures. So there's also be some extension of the economy. So I don't know. I can wait. Just give me the date, Bartek. Give me the date.
Yeah, we are going steady. And to the further, you can see that, you know, the problem is that we are working on many things in the same time, and
Yeah, right.
You know, the team is still the same. We are still don't have enough hands on it Yeah, we have a roadmap on our website.
We actually
update that.
covered it a few weeks ago. You can go to bigshortbets.com, and there is an entire timeline, not only the past but also the future.
Yeah, so yeah, but if you like what we are doing and you are looking for any opportunity to be part of it, you can remember that there is a tab called Team right on our website, and you can just send us an email, and it will be a pleasure to me to just contact with you and try to find if there is any way how you can help us. And as well, I very like the comment from BIGSB Hodler that BIGSB better than mBIGSB. Great, I don't need to rename my account from.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm quite. This is one of the things that I'm not sure that I can assess before the implementation. implementation.
Probably not.
You know, I can imagine that what's happened when, for example, somebody who has a lot of BIGSB will meet with somebody who is hodling a lot of mBIGSB, and
Oh.
you know,
I think it's yeah, it will be funny for sure, but the best thing is that the market will decide. You know, no will
Yeah.
be this whole ecosystem is created in a way that we as a team will have no power to decide whether which token is more worthy, which will have maybe, for example, mBIGSB will extend in market capitalization the BIGSB. You never know that. Funny things might happen. Can't wait. We'll see.
Funny, you know. I can imagine that, for example, you know, our hodlers, they are responsible for not liquidity, but putting the mBIGSB to the market, right? But if something like happened, let's say there is a lot of transactions going on the market, and they just don't want to sell the mBIGSB, the price just starts rocketing, right? Because you need to buy it. Maybe until they will be the same level of the fees in a USDC, probably, but still it will be very.
In the ending.
Restrict the ending. Thank you
Thank
so much.
See you next week.
Thank
Thanks,
you, guys.
I don't know if you see me, but yeah. I want to say hi to my mom.
Yes, hello.
Thanks for bringing me to the world.
Thank you so much. We see you next week.